Next up on the menu, we have the Free Tape Podcast proves Sneako right. This Sneako fellow, he's always switching up his character, isn't he? He's always switching up like the way he wants people to perceive him and all that, and it's all based on who gives this nigga validation or not. That's always what it's always based on with this guy, and it's kind of sad. It's pretty fickle, but apparently he was right about something, and we'll find out what that is. Talk to me.
Innocent. I thought that some of the accusers were trying to get money, and I believe that it was a Matrix attack. I did believe it back then, but I did believe at the time that Andrew Tate was innocent. I thought that some of the accusers were trying to get money, and I believe that it was a Matrix attack. I did believe it back then, but as I looked into it more, and I look at the new charge with child, and I've done a deep dive, it's clear that this is not just a specific Matrix attack, probably guilty of a lot of these things.
Well, finally, it only took you about 4 years platforming him to the young, impressionable audience, him snaking you, doing all these things behind your back, only for you to come back around to a side that realizes that he might be a bad person. Thank you, Sneako, for finally realizing that Andrew Tate is a bad person.
Sneako is just like the conservative party where they're always late to some like shit that's like, obviously. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny.
After all the years of damage, just thank you. The infamous Tate brothers are being held in federal custody in Miami, Florida, because they have done some things that are just outrageous. Not necessarily new, but they are outrageous. And with the hearing being pushed back to August 27th, their supporters have come around them and decided to wrap them in a blanket or a cloak of support that would have them feeling like they are loved to the nth degree, and that these people are there to see them seek justice. Look at this group of losers. This is just the most embarrassing thing that I've ever seen in my life. This rally literally turned into people bringing testosterone shots outside, people doing push-up contests to show how masculine they are.
24, 25.
Oh my.
The lawyer.
Bro, how fucking lame is this shit? We got niggas doing push-ups in the streets, screaming free Top G, protesting his human trafficking charges. Apparently there's some minors involved too. Okay.
Of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate cutting a WWE promo front and center.
It's not surprising. His fans were always pretty fucking stupid. They were very dumb.
He needs some sort of attention. It's a really weird and interesting sight.
Nothing what a democracy looks like, and that is what the UK looks like now. It is a fallen regime. It is a despotic state. It is a state that hates men, that hates Christianity, that hates masculinity, and that hates Andrew and Tristan Tate.
And of course, this hosted the usual loser suspects of people that you would think would be supporting Andrew Tate.
Why is Christianity always involved in the most heinous shit? Why do you think that is?
Myron Gaines is out there on the front lines showing his support for his guy, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate in this situation. You also have fellow Red Pill Top G Justin Waller out there supporting his guys, the Tate brothers, you know, standing in arms with them. But there is a name
that phony face ass nigga.
Arguably one of the more impactful names in all of Andrew Tate's whole career, and that's Sneako. Sneako is at home realizing in real time that ultimately the things that he has done has been disgusting by supporting Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate based off of the charges being levied against him and all of the evidence that is piling up. And honestly, I think Sneako's whole assessment on everything, the charges and the protests, kind of summarize exactly where the state of the Red Pill community is. And I think Sneako, who for what it's worth is one of the biggest supporters and backers of the Red Pill community during its rise and ascension, and has a great assessment on the overall state of the Red Pill community. From the charges to the protests, he puts it pretty soundly exactly where the Red Pill community is. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long way for the channel. The race to 200 is on and we're almost there. Now, back into the video.
And I wish I saw it earlier. I was kind of blinded by, you know, the idea that we're speaking truth, this resisting the slave mind, the Matrix. I did believe in that stuff. And it's a lot of it is a cult. And you can see some of these people are still in that cult. They believe that the demons are trying to stop testosterone, so they're doing push-ups on the sidewalk at the age.
Demons are trying to stop testosterone. Holy fuck.
40 years old. It's embarrassing. No, you're
How can someone stop a chemical that is organically made within your body if you are just simply a dude? What?
50. What are you doing? And I admit I was wrong.
And what I think is actually a bold move from Sneako, he does come to the internet and admit something that a lot of people can't do. That his actions, his belief system, and what he was pushing was wrong in the past. It's not just the stuff with women that has Sneako now believing that, Andrew Tate and his ways were wrong. It's also the stuff with children. It's also the way that he goes about treating his friends. It's the entire framework and ideology and picture that Andrew Tate has been trying to paint over the past couple of years that now has what I think was his biggest and most vocal and most important supporter now questioning the validity of who he is. The reason why I think the Sneako of it all is so important is because he was a guy who championed Andrew Tate. I tried to explain this to my fiance the other day about how important Sneako was to the rise of Andrew Tate, but he, in my opinion, is literally the person who introduced Andrew Tate into such a young and impressionable audience through Sneako and had him be somebody who at one point in time got his name bigger than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian. But now in 2026, the relationship has totally fallen apart and changed. And these newfound charges, these old charges, but just brought back to the forefront in a different way, have made Sneako disavow Andrew Tate in a way that I think is honestly great. And so now, as Sneako is sitting at home,
if you pay attention to how Andrew Tate talks, he has that nerd mouth when he moves it. It's more like this when he talks. I don't understand how niggas took that nigga seriously at all.
Watching these losers do this protest for Andrew Tate, he can only sit back and reflect, because maybe a year ago, he would have literally been on those same front lines, doing the same push-ups, having the same cardboard signs, cutting the same promos for a guy who should be going to jail for a long time based off these charges.
I should have known that this event was gonna draw so.
These two niggas are the most pathetic people in the whole fucking world. This guy in the middle is their bodyguard. He's just trying to get paid. These two niggas, most pathetic niggas in the fucking world. I swear. This nigga can never gain muscle. And this nigga is just a cuck. A loser. Who says living with women is gay, by the way.
So many fucking college races.
Bro, nigga, 30 people showed up. Rob protest. I told you them niggas is done, bro. I told you the red pill is dead. You know how much pushback I got for that? When I said the red pill is dead, they all started crying. This is proof. This protest here, and why I wanted to do the stream, is to show you this is the finale of this red pill cringe era. These incel who hate women and don't really have any sort of universal idea. The red pill is dead. It's done.
Now, for what it's worth, Sneako, you did bring these guys to the forefront in the mainstream. At least you aided in doing it, but it's good that you're spinning the block. And I think that you're absolutely right. These people are hanging on by a thread because of years of being exposed for being fraudsters, scammers, people who don't actually live the life that they say they live, and with little to no male improvement tracked back to the teachings that they've had. But this is great. Like, one of the biggest supporters who has come out of this era is disavowing this whole movement in public. And the reason why he's clowning them is because his point is being proven by a protest that's supposed to support Andrew Tate. This is the quote by Miami Times reporter Natasha Yee. The smattering of millennial men gathered in the 90-degree heat appeared to span nearly every race and ethnicity, clutching homemade cardboard signs.
I'm so disappointed in you black niggas for being there. I am. You should be better. Do you really think Andrew Tate gives a shit about you? You're a fucking idiot.
With messages like, "Thank you, Andrew Tate, for teaching us bravery." And the Tates are heroes to millions, though only about 30 of those millions appear to make it downtown Miami on Thursday.
Andrew Tate is not as
Look at this guy. Look at the state of this guy.
far as I'm aware, he hasn't been proven guilty.
Look at this guy. Women are keeping testosterone from this guy. This guy right here. The Matrix is trying to take his testosterone away. What testosterone? Does this face look like a man full of testosterone? No. No.
Anything, he has not been convicted. So I'm here to defend a man who defends men all around the world.
Now, to be
He's gay.
fair to Andrew Tate, he didn't tell
Nothing wrong with that, but he's definitely gay.
He did not tell the people to come and do the protest to be a shit show. All he asked for was his fans and his supporters, his true supporters, the true people that believe in the top G, to come out and support him and do a protest. Now, ultimately, are his fans and supporters clowns? Maybe that's true. If you look at the clips or any sort of writing about this,
There is no maybe. Nigga, that shit true. That shit is true. Everybody in that crowd, I would venture to say 98% of people in that crowd that are marching, those 30 people, are chopped. They're either chopped, fat, or just 50.
protests, it's clear as day that more people that
It's always the ugly, fat, angry niggas that hate women or are racist or are transphobic. One of those two apply to them. They're either ugly, fat, or old.
we're involved, we're probably there for some sort of viral moment of it all.
Then the captain came down last night.
They're all stupid.
The eye like he wanted to hit me with a billy club. I said, are we okay? I said, man to man, you understand, I'm their attorney. I have a right to be here. Like, you understand that we're litigating for them, and you understand that we're going to shine a light into this prison. And
Chopped, old, bald spot, old, chopped, old, and chopped. This nigga's just a bodyguard. This nigga's also a bodyguard. Can't see his face too well. Can't see his face too well. Old, fat. He doesn't even know why the fuck he's here.
yeah, this, yeah, that, yeah, this.
Old.
You know, all fat, gut hanging over his belt. They're all
Fat.
bunch of fat asses in there with no lives, and they're all broke, and they hate us, and that's just the way it is.
I don't even think that that's a real lawyer. I think that that's just some bodybuilder that they put inside of a suit and told him to wear sunglasses. What's funny to me...
Bodybuilder.
And they're all broke, and they hate us.
This is a bodybuilder. I can see his nipples poking through his flannel. Nigga's not a bodybuilder.
And that's just the way it is.
I don't even think that that's a real lawyer. I think that that's just some bodybuilder that they put inside of a suit and told him to wear sunglasses. What's funny to me is that like all of this contradicts a good bit of the teaching that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have been trying to display for the past couple of years. Them doing synchronized push-up protest and then putting in a tweet, "This is what the Matrix fears," is some of the weakest.
This dorky ass nigga. This dorky, puny ass, petite ass boy right here. Hundreds of Tate fans doing push-ups together right outside the solitary confinement building during the protest for Andrew and Tristan. Fire alarm emoji. This is what the Matrix fears. Free Top G. Yeah, guys. The Matrix is scared of these niggas doing push-ups in the street. Get real. I thought we had jobs.
Shit I have ever heard. Mind you, these are the people that talk about the wokeness of the world and they criticize like all the BLM protests, all the marching that they did, but literally these guys look like doofuses outside.
Yeah, at least we're marching for actual rights. You niggas are out here doing push-ups for a human trafficker. Name something more pathetic.
This stuff.
I'm waiting.
What's embarrassing about all of this is the numbers in it of it all. Now, mind you, I do think that Andrew Tate, the Red Pill movement, you know, Myron, Justin Wall, all these people associated with it do have a bunch of different supporters. But for whatever reason, anytime these guys try to galvanize any sorts of troops, it always has something questionable that goes along with how many people actually.
Yeah, and it ends up looking like a sad, fallen off rapper's venue. That's what it always looks like.
Came there. One
Hella seats empty.
That's pro-Tate quoted that there were thousands of people. The Miami Times and this other account quoted that there were dozens to maybe 30 people. And
isn't that the same thing Donald Trump did with one of his like gatherings? He said there are thousands of people out here, and then it showed like literally like 10 people or some shit. That's exact. It's all the same energy because it's all the same crowd. Loser men who just can't get ahead, so they think hating is the correct way to get ahead.
Video that I see, I'm not gonna lie, this is just based off of what I've seen. It's
like, look at this guy, and this guy's a fucking loser too. All of this is just what you resist persists, the crowd. That's what this is. What you resist persists and what you chase escapes. Look at this fucking dork back here. They're chasing being liked by women, so it's escaping them. They think this is the way, and it's not. They're trying to resist being seen as lame, and they just look more lame. This guy looks very gay. Look at that wrist. That wrist is not a straight man's wrist. It's all like this and shit. Like, what is he doing?
Not a lot of people at all. It literally looks like less than like a high school lunch at any given time. And you know, depending on the high school that you go to, I might even be gassing it because that's a pretty big showing. Now, I don't know if it's because these top G.
Yeah, my high school lunch was way bigger than this.
disciples are so broke that they can't actually afford to get to Miami because they're so busy sending their money to Andrew and Tristan Tate to put on their books so they can pay for ramen noodle packets so they're not having to do push-ups and clean laundry while they're in jail, or if it's because people aren't proud enough to show their faces to let the world know that they actually do support Andrew and Tristan Tate.
Because most of them are like this. That's what they look like.
Do know one thing. This millions of people fan base that claim that they are proud and loud about supporting Andrew and Tristan Tate's movement aren't visible anytime anybody asks them to step up and show their face. Now, arguably the worst part about all of this is not the fact that there weren't too many people that showed up to a protest. It's the fact that Andrew Tate left his community, the top G community, the Red Pill guys, in the hands of some of the worst people on the internet.
And the truth of the innocence and the reasons why they should be released will be so overwhelming. And if we lose, then we will go straight to President Trump's office. And we will say to him, I understand we have a long and lasting relationship with the United Kingdom, but don't forget that that relationship started when we took their tea and threw it into the damn water. Don't forget that that relationship started.
What are we even fucking talking about right now? What are we talking about?
When we launched a revolution against that stupid king and his stupid wig and that godforsaken country.
Is he a lawyer or a content creator? Like, why are you referencing the Boston Tea Party and the kings of the revolutionary era back in the 1700s when you're talking about whether Tristan Tate and Andrew Tate are supposedly people who are doing these terrible things with women and children? Can you keep your eye on the prize here, buddy, and not try to get on AEW? It's not just the Fresh and Fit boys, Myron and Walter, and it's not just Justin Waller, who Andrew Tate has left to defend his name in the public and galvanize the troops. He has established a crackpot team of legal experts, one that only rivals O.J. Simpson, in an attempt to get him out of jail. I mean, these guys are as sharp as a tack, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that I can stress how worried I am for the state of Florida, city of Miami, the federal government, and what they're going to have to put up with, because this legal team they're on it. I swear to you, they are on it.
Don't forget that that relationship started when we launched a revolution against that stupid king and his stupid wig and that godforsaken country.
Now, obviously,
and Your Honor, that's why Tristan and Andrew Tate deserve to be let free. I don't care if they trafficked.
Lawyers speak all the time. I don't think it's strange for them to be answering some of these questions. Have you obtained proof of life? You know, talk to them, see how their hesSpaidz is doing, all that stuff. That's your job as a lawyer. But it looks like their lawyer is more concerned with becoming a main character. Look at how he's like intentionally going for these jokes because he wants Buddy in the free hug shirt to cheese it up and laugh.
And yeah, this, yeah, that, yeah, this, you know, all fat, gut hanging over his belt. They're all a bunch of fat asses in there with no life, and they're all broke and they hate us, and that's just the way it is.
He's more worried about impressing.
Oh, good one, dude. These guys are losers.
Playing the court of public opinion.
These are the motherfuckers in the YouTube comments that argue with each other.
Ultimately losers who are gonna ride for Andrew and Tristan no matter what, then doing things that, I don't know, would probably help them get out of jail, like painting them in some sort of good light publicly. But ultimately, you just look like one of the D-bags who is on their payroll and who acts just like them. We've seen recently in court when it comes to Achud the Builder, how these actions from your team outside of court can help play into how the judge accepts narratives and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's a great idea for these dudes to be going around gallivanting and having the greatest time with Myron and Walter from Fresh and Fit trying to get the laughs and chuckles from these idiots on the street as a way to get, you know, these guys out of jail if that's their ultimate end goal.
Ball spot just in the wind. Fuck.
But I had to look into this lawyer a little bit deeper to figure out who he was.
Is he a real lawyer?
Off clout chasey. And
I don't think that nigga's a real lawyer.
On some of these things, when he comes off clout chasey in these interviews, then you've got to assume that in real life he's clout chasey as well. Andrew Tate's lawyer's name is Joseph McBride, somebody who has taken on some pretty notorious and infamous cases in recent
So he's an
time.
actual
He was the
lawyer.
guy who supported and decided to take on the defense for Richardo, Big O, Barnett, whatever his name is. You know, the guy who was in Nancy Pelosi's office during the January 6th expedition coup on the Capitol building. Now, this guy Barnett, with the help of Joseph McBride, went to trial and was convicted on all 8 counts. But at the end of the day, Joseph McBride still got that look, right? Huh? And then there's Keith Rainier, the founder of NXIVM, who also Joseph McBride decided that he was going to be a lawyer for. Now, Rainier has an interesting storyline, but McBride publicly questioned the FBI's work and argued that prosecutors had not proven every element of the crimes beyond beyond a reasonable doubt. You're probably asking what Rainier was being put on trial for. He was ultimately a cult leader, somebody who was into some of the same things that their guy Andrew Tate is being put up on trial for. The trafficking, the exploitation, the children of it all. And Rainier ultimately got sentenced to 120 years. Now, I'm not trying to say that McBride is a bad lawyer at all. What I'm trying to say is the optics of it all. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate decided to go get a lawyer who has been responsible for defending a guy on the January 6th trial and for this guy who is a cult leader. I mean, if you're walking like a duck and quacking like one, you might as well go get a duck farmer.
I did believe at the time that Andrew Tate was innocent, but as I looked into it more, probably guilty.
Okay, we already saw this, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Basically, we have a bunch of sad men marching in the fucking street for Andrew Tate. Sad Man's Parade, no My Hero to Rumble. This is not the cool one from My Hero Academia, you know, where Twice was like letting out all his clones and shit, and it was called the Sad Man's Parade, Sad Man's Legion. No. This is like the Pathetic Man Parade, you know what I mean? This is like the Fat Man's Legion. And it's just sad to see all these people, you know, who should have jobs out here doing shit like this. With all that being said, thanks for watching. If you're still an Andrew Tate, Sneako, fucking Fresh and Fit fan in the Big 26, you need help. Have a better day than me.